to a protest. The second kind of activist is the activist that goes to a protest in the rain. The third kind of activist is the activist that goes to a protest in the rain and stays till the end. My name is David Silverman, and I am the Vice President and National Spokesperson for American Atheists. American Atheists is America's premier non-profit organization by and for the non-religious community, and I am thrilled to be here today to support marriage equality in New Jersey. Are there any atheists in the crowd? Are there any Twilight fans in the crowd? Do you know what you call an atheist vampire? A succular humanist. American Atheist has been fighting the good fight since 1963, and our membership spans the gamut of non-religious people. There are about 50 million secular people in this country, 1.3 million of whom call New Jersey home. We use many names: atheists, agnostics, secular humanists, rationalists, materialists, etc. And we are found in all political circles. If you come to one of our conventions, and by the way, we're having a convention in New Jersey next year, you will find people on all sides of all issues. The gun rights issue, the abortion issue, the Middle East. Indeed, we are so diverse that our lack of religion is almost all that binds us. I said almost all. Atheists do have something else in common. We gravitate to logical, rational arguments. No matter what the issue, no matter what side the issue, an atheist who argues a position will do so with logical, rational points. Of course, you may not agree with everything we say, and believe me, we do not agree with each other on everything, but we do agree that each other's point of view is only considered valid if it is based on thought, evidence, and reason. But now let me ask you, has anyone here ever heard a logical, rational reason why we shouldn't have marriage equality? No! Anyone ever? No! I haven't. I've heard catchphrases and euphemisms. I've heard gay marriage hurts the sanctity of marriage. What the hell does that even mean? I've heard a lot about Adam and Eve and Adam and Steve, but no statistics at all to support the assertion that gay marriage harms anyone or anything. And I haven't heard any sound logic, but I have heard one thing in abundance: religious dogma. If you come to an atheist convention, by the way, did I mention that we're having a convention next spring, right here in New Jersey? If you come to an atheist convention, you will meet people on both sides of many issues, but not this one. While I can't speak for 100% of all atheists everywhere, I can speak for every atheist I've ever met, and as national spokesperson of American Atheists, I've met a lot of atheists. And we all agree that gay marriage opponents have no logical legs on which to stand. The reason that nobody is offering any logical reasons for opposing marriage equality is that there are no logical reasons for opposing marriage equality. The real reason that people oppose it is religious in nature. Marriage equality is therefore not just a civil rights issue, it is also a separation of church and state issue. American Atheists, as staunch supporters of the separation of church and state, is eager and willing to step in to do our best to make sure that their religion doesn't become, or in this case, remain our law. The enemy of gay marriage is not all religion. It's just a small, rich, and politically savvy minority, and boy, do they get around. The enemy of gay marriage also wants religion taught as science in the classroom. The enemy of gay marriage also boycotts companies for saying happy holidays instead of Merry Christmas. The enemy of gay marriage wants you to be like them, whether you want to be or not. It's not enough for them to choose how they live. They also want to choose how you live. They want control for the sake of control, and they want power for the sake of power. The enemy of gay marriage is not the Republican Party, but rather the well-funded political corruption machine that controls it, the religious right. The religious right is our only real adversary, and we all know it. They think they have a monopoly on morality and will stop at nothing to get us all to fit into their molds and follow their way. The religious right knows. The religious right knows that gay marriages will not affect straight marriages. They know it, because it hasn't affected the straight marriages in the states where it's allowed. But they don't care about the facts. They ignore them, even though they've been proven wrong. Let me say that again. Even though they've been proven wrong, they still try to force the government to make you behave as they see fit. Does this seem moral to you? No! To me, it seems barbaric and primitive and quite a little pathetic. It's laughable, and yet it's disgusting that this Bible-based bigotry is so alive and well in 2009 in New Jersey. Does this mean I'm hostile to religious freedom? No. Religious freedom is one of the pillars of American society. I am, however, extremely hostile to those who would make this world a worse place to live by making it less hospitable to diversity and individuality, all for the sake of their own egos and their own wallets. Before I leave this podium, I need to make one thing clear. The reason marriage equality is such a problem is because it is a church and state issue. Marriage is both an observance of religion and a civil institution. And in that way, it is the only issue of its kind. It's a perfect example of how poorly church and state get along when merged. While the state must not mandate that a church perform gay weddings, neither must a religious policy dictate legal decisions for the population at large. My religious friends on this podium earlier today underscored an important point. Religions vary greatly, and many religions are our friends in this fight. Some religions read the same Bible as the religious right, but come to different conclusions. This highlights a key reason that the separation of church and state is so important. And there are lots and lots and lots of theological beliefs, each thinking differently from each other. And none can speak for all. We are a diverse state in a diverse country, and no single person or theology can speak for everyone, nor should they try to do so. This is the very essence of the need for separation of church and state. Any one church that is entrenched will inherently exclude everyone else. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today to call the emperor naked. There is no one anywhere with a rational and logical reason to deny marriage equality. If you push hard, it comes down to Bible-based bigotry and faith-based hate. This is why it's a church and state issue, and this is why American Atheists is here with you and beside you fighting this fight. We may differ on whether or not God is on your side, but one thing is for sure. You've got a lot of atheists on your side who will fight for your unalienable right to live and love in absolute, unapologetic equality. Unfortunately, we also know that the religious right is about to place one of their tools in the governor's mansion. And those... and like those who agree with him, Mr. Christie has no good reason to oppose gay marriage, but he does anyway. We can't wait for Mr. Christie and the religious right to catch up with the 21st century. This is why American Atheists is proud to join with Garden State Equality to urge the passage of the Civil Marriage and Religious Protection Act now, so this wonderful state can move forward into the future without legislating love. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. That was awesome. And I like Twilight.